Hey, do you have a performer, a young performer, ready to take the stage? You know, the Playhouse at White Lake is calling out to all kids ages 6 all the way up to 18 for a series of, well, some Disney-themed workshops that can build some confidence and creativity. These Saturday sessions focus on skills like vocal technique, rhythm, stage presence in a supportive group setting. It's kind of a low-stakes way for them to explore the performing arts, make some new friends, maybe get to know the artistic team at the Playhouse. Speaking of, we've got one of them here. Cindy Beth Davis Dykema is here. Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Hello, I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm excited that you're here because I'm a big fan of live theater, and you've been around since 1973. Is that right?
The White Lake Youth Theater specifically was established in 1973 by Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp, which was the predecessor to the Playhouse being owned by the city of Whitehall in its current partnership. So yeah, it's been around since 1973, but when the Playhouse was taken over by the city in 2006, we went from just a summer play into a year-round program. So now we have 12 months a year of amazing programming for youth theater, and our mission is to cultivate a compassionate community of youth artists through access and education to theater arts.
That is some hefty mission statement you've got there, Cindy.
Do you know what I say that makes it easier? We make good humans, and along the way, they have some fun making some theater.
That's pretty true, actually.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll talk about that. Beyond the applause, I mean, obviously, when a kid hears that something happens inside, they're like, wow, this is amazing, this feedback I'm getting, and that great feeling. What else does this bring to the children?
Oh man, I don't know how much time we have. I could go on all day about this. But like you said, obviously there's wonderful amount of validation that's provided just by having the experience of getting up and doing something that you're scared of, that you're brave, that you power through with performing on stage in front of an audience. You know, public speaking is actually considered one of our #1 fears. So we always figure that the youth theater program does a lot to help you navigate life through some tricky challenges as you're growing up. And again, along the way, you make lots of fun, you make lots of friends, and you learn some new skills, and maybe this is something that brings you into a field of study later in your life, or maybe it's just something that's a lifelong love for you, like yourself.
Absolutely. I've been a lifelong in and out of shows since I was in junior high.
How lucky for you.
Right, absolutely. And so there's some emotional development, right? There's some social development.
Absolutely.
And this is a very good community. I know that my daughter has found a love of it herself. When it comes to the actual workshops, though, as I mentioned, that is a really low stress way, right? A really welcoming way to kind of dip your toe into this. Talk about these.
I love that you noticed that. That was entirely our goal.
Good.
So kids today have so much on their plates. Oftentimes we notice kids come in and they're a little anxious about having fun. And so we think to ourselves, how can we really just level the playing field and make it so comfortable and welcoming for everyone that they come in ready to learn and not ready to be nervous and stressed out about the experience. So what we've done is kind of created this a la carte workshop through the winter and spring. So students can take 1, 2, 3, or 4 Saturday workshops. They can take, any or all of them, and they build skills and confidence along with building comfort and familiarity with our artistic team. So I'm directing this summer with a wonderful woman named Sky Harsh on a Disney's Dare to Dream musical play camp. And these workshops lead into that so that you could just choose a Saturday for 2 hours if you wanted, come and learn a song and the dance, perform for your family in an hour and 45 minutes later, or you can come back in June and then take all of those songs and dances you've learned, combine them with even more content, make more new friends, and do an entire production in 1 week.
Can you talk a little bit? I love this, by the way, because
cool
you're
concept.
basically pre-auditioning everyone for the show.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that audition process, though. I think you said fear of public speaking is one thing. I think another thing that kids think about is it automatically kind of puts them into a competition because you're auditioning for a limited amount of roles.
Sure. What's nice about this is that everyone who's involved in our week-long play camps is guaranteed a role to perform. So we love that just kind of, once again, takes the competition down and makes it immediately collaborative. It's like, hey, we're going to find your best place and let's help you find it, as opposed to where are you in relationship to the other kids on the stage.
Right.
And because it's a multi-generational, multi-age range group, it's really cool as well because incoming students 6, 8, 10 years old don't expect to get the lead roles, but they're learning from those students who are older, and they're learning as well some social scaffolding, how to mix with other diverse age groups and diverse personalities. So there's so much benefit to this outside of just the production value.
And look how big that stage is.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's not some small venue, and they're getting up on a real big stage.
Yeah.
And Be Our Guest, A Friend Like Me, these are the names of the workshops that are coming up. But it all is leading up to this big Dare to Dream musical review, Dare to Dream Junior.
Yes,
I should make sure I say. Talk about the show in June.
Sure. So in June, we have a 5-day workshop, and kids will have already auditioned by this point, so they know their part when they arrive. They've already got a script in hand. They've had the chance to make themselves as comfortable as they want, or maybe they come in on day 1 and they just learn what they learned for those 5 days, because we have different styles of learners, right?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Isn't
yes.
that the case?
Yes.
So we want to meet them all where they are. And for those kids who just show up on Monday, that's fine. They're going to come on in and learn what they need to learn. And by Friday afternoon, they're going to be ready to perform that weekend for an audience and 367 seats in that 110-year-old theater.
Look at that. Hundreds of people in the crowd.
Absolutely, that's our goal.
What an experience for the kids. All right, so you can take as many workshops as you want, as few workshops as you want.
Absolutely.
You can just show up on that Monday for. What would you say for any kid who's nervous about auditioning, or any parent right now who says they might have a nervous kid about maybe doing this?
Sure. I really honestly just have to say it's about meeting our staff at the Playhouse. We have the most welcoming, the warmest, most loving and compassionate team that I could possibly imagine. We're deeply neuro-affirming. We have a tendency just to meet every kid right where they are. Some kids are going to sit alongside us for the first day because they're nervous to dive in, and we're going to find a way to work with everybody. So it's really about just finding the right team, and I am very confident that at the Playhouse at White Lake we have the best one out there.
Well, instead of bringing your kids to see if they get a role, they'll give them a role. They'll find a
Absolutely.
role for them.
Yep.
So everybody's going to participate. If you want to get involved, maybe your kids, your grandkids, the Playhouse at White Lake, as you can see, all the dates right there on your screen. There's the dance workshop, the beauty play camp, the musical play camp, and the acting workshop, all leading up to the Dare to Dream musical review. I should say Dare to Dream Junior. It is the Dare to Dream Junior show. Cindy, thank you so much for the time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.